Imagine finishing a 12-hour workday, except your job is chasing dinner with a sharpened stick, your office has wolves, and your lunch might run away faster than your entire family. Now, imagine coming home, exhausted, sweaty, covered in mud, and someone says, "Relax, you deserve self-care." But there is no sofa, no phone, no Netflix, no bubble tea. Not even a tiny fan blowing directly at your face like modern civilization intended. So, how did prehistoric people relax? Did they just stare at rocks? Did they meditate beside a mammoth skull? Did one caveman invent yoga, then get judged by everyone because his downward wolf looked ridiculous? The truth is funny, surprisingly human, and a little tragic. Because ancient relaxation was not about escaping life. It was about surviving life without going completely crazy. The first level of prehistoric relaxation was simple. Sit near the fire and do absolutely nothing. That was not laziness. That was luxury. Fire was the world's first living room. Heater, security system, barbecue grill, and group therapy circle. After a day of dodging predators, everyone gathered around the flames like, finally, something bright that is not trying to eat us. Fire changed everything. In daylight, the world belonged to hunters, rivers, storms, snakes, and badly planned decisions. But at night, the fire created a small bubble of safety. Inside that orange glow, people could breathe. Someone roasted meat. Someone warmed their feet. Someone told the same hunting story for the ninth time, adding one extra imaginary wolf every single evening. And yes, storytelling was entertainment. Before movies, people had Uncle Grug. Uncle Grug would stand up, wave his arms, and say, "The deer was this big." Everyone knew the deer was not that big, but nobody interrupted him because he had the best sound effects. Then came the second level, music and dancing. Prehistoric people had no speakers, but they had hands, feet, bones, stones, hollow logs, and the incredible human ability to turn boredom into noise. Someone clapped, someone tapped a rhythm, someone shook seeds in a shell. Suddenly, the cave had a DJ, and unfortunately, the DJ was your cousin who only knew one beat. Dance was not just fun. It helped people bond. It reduced stress. It made the group feel united. It probably also helped young people show off. Because even in the Stone Age, someone was definitely dancing too hard near the fire, hoping the attractive person across the cave would notice. But then the third level got deeper. Grooming. Yes, ancient spa day was basically picking dirt, insects, and mystery crumbs out of each other's hair. Today, we call it disgusting. Back then, it was affection. Imagine someone saying, "I care about you so much. I will remove this tiny crawling problem from your scalp." That was romance. That was friendship. That was customer service. Grooming calmed the body. It built trust. It showed who belonged to the group. It was also probably the prehistoric version of gossip. Two people sitting together, cleaning hair, whispering, "Did you see how Krog missed that rabbit?" 3 times. The rabbit looked embarrassed for him. Then came level 4, art. Cave painting was not just decoration. It was memory, magic, teaching, emotion, and probably a little showing off. Imagine walking into a cave and seeing someone paint a giant bison with dramatic shadows. Another person says, "Nice." The artist says, "Thanks." It represents the eternal struggle between hunger and not being stepped on. Painting animals, handprints, symbols, and hunting scenes may have helped people process fear. It turned chaos into images. It made danger feel understandable. A wild animal outside was terrifying. A painted animal on the wall was something humans could look at, study, and maybe feel slightly less helpless about. And then came the peak of prehistoric relaxation, doing nothing together. That sounds simple, but it was powerful. Sitting close, sharing food, watching sparks rise, listening to wind outside the cave, feeling the warmth of bodies nearby. In a world where being alone could be fatal, relaxation meant belonging. You relaxed because someone was watching your back. You slept because another person stayed awake. You laughed because death had not found the group today, and honestly, that deserved a celebration. Of course, prehistoric relaxation had limits. No weekend getaway, no massage chair, no noise-canceling headphones. If the cave neighbor snored like an injured bear, congratulations, that was your sound machine. If it rained for 3 days, the whole tribe sat inside smelling like wet fur and bad choices. If someone invented a flute, everyone had to pretend the first song was good. But this is what makes it fascinating. Ancient humans did not need modern entertainment to relax. They needed rhythm, warmth, touch, stories, food, art, laughter, and other people. Basically, the original subscription service was community, and it did not require a password. Archaeologists have found ancient musical instruments, cave art, ornaments, decorated objects, and evidence of shared fires. These clues suggest that early humans were not just survival machines. They played, they created, they rested, they joked, they made meaning in a world that gave them very few guarantees. So, the next time you relax by scrolling your phone for 3 hours, remember your prehistoric ancestors. They relaxed by staring into fire, dancing with questionable rhythm, painting dangerous animals, and picking bugs out of someone's hair with emotional sincerity. And somehow, after all that, they still became us. A species that crossed ice, survived predators, invented language, built cities, and eventually created the ultimate relaxation tool: lying in bed, doing nothing, while complaining that doing nothing is exhausting.